Okay, so we're going to talk about button holes. We'll do probably sewing the button, another video, but this one is just going to be about button holes. And so this is your button foot. It's probably, if you have a brother, it's A. Usually there's an A somewhere on here, but I don't see it on here, but this is A. Device A. And of course you're going to need a button and some test material. Okay, so what we want to do first is kind of just mark, and remember we're going to have a guide of where you want your button to begin, right? And I'm just going to do, hopefully you can see that. It's a line like that. I don't have my guide here, but this is just, sample just to show you. All right, and now you're going to need your button. So this in the back of your button, button foot, this goes, closes and opens. And this corresponds to the size of your button. Okay, so basically you just put your button in the little slot in the back and close it to its snug. Okay, where the button won't fall out. Okay, so it's snug. Now what you want to do is take your universal pressure foot off. Mine is just a release in the back. All right. So take that off, and mine automatically already sets to the front. If yours does not, all you do is push it to the front because it sews going backwards. So it sews from here going backwards first. So if yours isn't already in the front like mine is, if your snap-on portion, this portion right here, is in the back, all you do is just push it forward, so it ends up in the front. Okay, on this front portion. Okay, and it's a lever. Now remember, this is your automatic lever for to thread your needle. And in the back here, right there, right here, this gray thing right here, that's for your button foot. And what you're going to do is pull that straight down, right? And what that does is when you pull it straight down, it's going to come at this first notch. Now remember, this is basically the size of your button. That's all that does, is just opens up to whatever size that you put your button in. So when you push that gray thing down, it's going to come here at this first one. And then as you sew, remember, it goes backwards. And all it's doing is once it hits the back button, it knows to stop because that's the size of your button. Then it's going to go forward, it knows to stop here, go back, it'll stop. Okay, so that's what that space is. So again, when you push down the gray, it's going to stop here because that's the beginning. Right, because it goes backwards, so that's the beginning. So that's what's going to happen. Now that we put this on, I'm trying to do it with one hand. And it's all it is a regular old snap, and I'm just trying to line it with my pinky. There we go, that'll probably work. And you just snap it on. Then again, like I said, if this snap-on is in the back, all you do is take your thumb and push it forward, and it'll come to the forward if yours is like that. Okay. I should have told you about these little markings before I put it on, but you see the little green markings, it's an opening here. You see the red markings, green markings. What you want to do is line your start button or your start mark. Remember, this is the start mark, your line. You want to line it up to this top red button, the top one. Okay, not the two in the middle and not the green, but the singular top button. That's where you want to line that, where you want to start your button at, okay? And also, there's no way for this to go inside, so you kind of just hold it for, you know, the first 1 or 2 stitches, and then it'll just automatically go inside. Okay, and then you can kind of let go. So what we're gonna do is remember to here, you're marking to the singular top, okay? You just kind of want to line it up in the middle. It's hard for me to see with one hand. Here it is. I'm just trying to find it. There we go. You probably can't see it, but you can see the line. Focus kind of, and it's at the top of that singular. Okay. So now my buttonholes start at 34, but just these are what your buttonholes look like. So there. So mine's 34 to 42. I'm just gonna do a regular old button, so probably 35. So let's switch mine to 3, 5, and that's the A. Studying the A type of foot, and that's your buttonhole foot. And so remember, at this point, remember the one in the back, the dark gray, we'll call it the dark gray on mine here. All you do is it's going to put it down, and remember it's going to go to this first one, because it's those two are basically stoppers. So that's the start of it. So it's gonna, when you pull it down, it's going to go right behind that initial stopper, and then when you sew, it goes backwards. It's going to hit the other stopper. There you go. It's going to hit the other stopper to know to stop, and come forward. So that's what that is. That's a better angle so you can see the in between there. So what I usually like to do is to start it, you know, everything is to bring down the presser fit. All right, and I hold it, the thread, just for a little bit so it don't sink in, and press on your foot there to get it started. And then you can kind of let go, and it'll stop automatically. So you can press down on the foot as fast as you want to slow. It'll stop automatically. You see, no hands. It does it all on its own. You don't have to hold anything. You don't have to guide anything. That's all the locking stitches, and then it stopped. No matter if I hold on to the presser foot, pressing down, it's not moving. So I know that it's finished. Now, this is about to reset. As soon as I push this up, it's going to reset back to the front. See, resets to the front there. Put my needle up. And take it out. And let's clip some threads. So there you go. So front to back. Now, since I wasn't using both my hands, it wasn't in the center of my little line, but you get the idea. Wherever your line is, wherever that center is, you want it to be in the center. But you see, as you line it up, you put it at the start of that singular red. That's where it kind of starts. And there is your buttonholes. They're very simple to do. I'll cut some thread in there. There you go. And that's it. And then to open your buttonhole, what I like to do is take a pen, straight pen, and pin it on either side of the buttonhole. Either side of the buttonhole, because that's like a gauge to stop. And you can take your seam ripper, and all you're going to do is poke in and cut all the way up to you know, where your stopper is. Or you can start your seam ripper, you know, create a hole, and you can use your nippers or some scissors, small scissors, shears, and cut through it. Honestly, I find the seam ripper to work just fine. So again, I gotta put it down to do this one, but you're just gonna punch a hole in, and you're gonna go, let me try to put it down and show you. So, you know, you just punched a hole, like I just did, punched a hole through, and you're just going to seam rip to the top. I'm gonna do one hand. That is not gonna work. That was a bunch, child.
Right in here.
What?
Here.
Hold on, let me move that.
Okay.
And so you're just going to take the seam ripper and gradually cut till you get to your little, where we at here, pin as a stopper. Excuse me. Okay. And after you remove it, here is your open buttonhole. Okay. That's it. That's all it is to creating your buttonhole. All right, so one of the other last things to do is figure out the placement of your button, right? So remember, we're gonna pretend like the bottom piece is the other front, you know, band, and this is the side with your buttonhole. So how you figure out where to place your buttons is make sure that your buttonholes are already open. Okay, so you use your seam ripper or your scissors to open your buttonholes. So one way is to use your marker and just in the middle of the buttonhole, you're just going to place a mark like that. The other way is to take a straight pen and again in the middle of your buttonhole, you're gonna take your pen, lift up, and then make your mark where the pen is. So either way works, and then those are where you would place buttonhole. So the center of your button will go like that in the center of your marking. So you just place that button in the center center of your button on your button mark. So center of your button on your button mark. Center like that. And that's how you would determine where to put your buttonholes. Okay, everybody, that's it.